Hey guys, this is Healthy Life Designing. Today we're talking to the amazing Dr. Bridget Williams. She is the founder and owner of Green Harvest Health, and she is joining us again today after almost a year later, and she's going to be talking to us about her CBD product line that she has created and is continuing to create, and is going to be adding another skincare line. And she's also going to be sharing about how she offers life coaching to not only her regular patients, but to health and wellness professionals. So stick around because Dr. Bridget will be joining us when we come back.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Hey guys, we're back. We're talking to Dr. Bridget Williams. She's the owner of Green Harvest Health. And Bridget, oh my goodness, last year, no, it wasn't last year, the year before that, 2019, you were just getting started with a practice, adding cannabis coaching, life coaching. And you were in Pickerington, you were teaching in Cleveland, and starting to open a facility down in Cincinnati when we last talked.
Yeah. Geez. A lot. So a lot has happened. It's great to see you, Darian.
So great to see you.
Gosh. So 2020 was something different, right? And I feel like things have progressed so quickly. I'm trying to even start with how things have changed. But yes, when we first did when we did our last interview, so much has changed since then. So yeah, we have 3 offices now. And one, when with COVID, we decided not to pursue the Cincinnati one. So we have 2 in Columbus and 1 in Cleveland. So
okay.
Yeah. And we had just started our CBD venture when we did our last interview, and now that's on a whole nother level now. Yeah.
Well, and when you had first started with your CBD products, you had maybe, I think, about 5 products, about 5 at the time. Does that sound right?
Yeah. So we had 2 creams. We had a pain cream and a body butter. And I believe we had 2 different tinctures, a full spectrum and an isolate, and in different strengths of those. And since that time, we've added gummies, which I love a lot, to our product line, and we're coming out with a new product next week. Actually, a massage oil or intimacy massage oil, and have a number of different items kind of in the pipeline with that as well. So we're coming out with a whole women's line this year.
Oh,
so it's going to be whole body, and it's just going to be really things that are really geared to our female clients. So
that is wonderful.
Yeah. So we're excited about it. It's been fun to kind of get on the formulating side of things. And in the past, we were always tweaking our products, but now we're starting from scratch. And so it's been really fun to be able to, be a little bit more on the laboratory side of things. And
yes, so fun.
Yeah.
You get to use so many different creative skills that you're probably not so much used to in the office setting.
Right. And so being creative is really important to me. And so to be able to be on the side of it. And since that time, we've also launched a really almost a different company, Green Harvest Health CBD product development. And so we now white label our line of products for people, and we also do custom formulation for them as well. So if you have an idea and you're not quite sure how to get it to fruition, we help create that product and the formula and get it made for you, as well as if you just have a story and have a following and want to have your own brand, we can help you do that as well. So that's a whole nother venture.
It is, but it's so interesting too because what I think about is, ooh, how exciting would it be to be in a lab? And I mean, could you kind of go into just a little bit of a brief detail of what that process looks like? Say if somebody wants to create just a hand cream and they have an idea for how they want it to smell or the color of it. Could you kind of briefly describe what that process is like?
Right. So clients come to me. Typically, their interest is having something that we work with a number of different processors. We vet the processors. We vet the product. So we're looking at those labs, making sure everything is up to par, so that the client doesn't have to worry about these things. Right. So someone comes to me with an idea, we kind of start with what their philosophy is, what their goals are, because sometimes the product that they're thinking about doesn't necessarily meet their goals, right? So we
Right.
start with what are their goals? What are they hoping to do? Who do they want to sell it to? We go through the whole thing. How do they want to market this? And then once we have an idea of the structure, then we start focusing on the actual product itself. And so knowing what their goals are makes a big difference in what those ingredients are, right? So if you're looking for something that is just kind of nice and nourishing, it's one thing. If you're looking for something that's more treating skin conditions, that's a little bit different. Of course, everything has CBD in it, but the amount of CBD is very much dependent on what you're looking for it to do. And so we start pulling together these ideas, these ingredients. And then once we kind of have a base of what we want, I then go to my biochemist. We kind of run through the whole thing again, see if they want to add, subtract, any ideas as well. We come back with the final formula, and once the client approves, as well as we're looking at labeling and logo and design and packaging and everything involved.
Yes.
And
Yes.
once everything's approved, then we send it into production and get your product made. So
Oh my, so fun. I would love just to come to watch the whole process because
yeah,
it sounds so interesting and fun.
yeah.
So another thing is that makes me think about skincare.
Mhm.
You talking about, someone having eczema and things like that. Have you seen, I mean, are there clients that you have, or could you share a testimony of someone that has had a lot of eczema or acne, things like that, and have been able to use your products and find that it clears up?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I have my own story. I had horrible eczema on my elbows, skin folds, what have you. And by using the product, I've been able to, I don't use steroids at all anymore. And so I have my own story. I have another client that sent in her before and after pictures, which is always appreciated. And her skin was thinning and raw and really breaking down, an older woman. And by using the product pretty much every other day for about 2 weeks, incredible improvement during that time. She said that her appearance went from shredded wheat to supple skin. So,
Oh gosh.
but really, really an amazing story. I will say, even with the acne, I didn't intentionally have this in mind, but I was getting breakouts, around my mouth or, on my face. And I would use our body butter, and whatever was left, I would just kind of put it on my face before putting on makeup. And my kids noticed. I was like, they said, "You're not breaking out anymore." And I hadn't really thought, you're busy, you're running, but CBD decreases the sebum that is secreted from your skin, which decreases acne. So we're actually going
Oh.
to kind of go into a space where we will have a skincare line this year as well, because the body butter is a little heavy for some people, so that people feel comfortable using it and getting the benefits from it.
Oh my goodness. Well, and I remember when I had got a few products from you, and I think it may have been the body butter. It was in the white little
Yes.
container, and I used that on my hands, and no joke, I can honestly say that it is one of the very best things that I've used. In fact, before we got on today, I had to grab something, and I actually grabbed one of my face creams to put on my hands because I can
Sure.
never find the right kind of cream
Uh-huh.
that helps with the dryness and the cuticles, and I use my hands with my clients, I
Right.
want them to look nice. I don't want them to be dry and raw, or like your patient had said,
Sure.
with the wheat, like the wheat thin skin.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the next products for our women's line is actually going to be really utilizing the base of that body butter, but we're going to have it with sun protection in it, like an SPF, so that
Okay.
people can get the benefits of using it, but also no matter your complexion, the sun does raise havoc on your skin and you need to protect it. So we'll have that coming out soon as well.
Awesome. Well, I think it's a great time for us to take a quick break right here. Dr. Bridget Williams will be joining us when we come back right after this.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
Welcome to the Dream Machine. Like to be part of Dream Machine, keep me busy, and it's also important that we do it together as a group, and we plow and plant, and we have lots of produce. We have tomatoes like one here, and gourds, cucumbers, squash, kohlrabi, beets, microgreens. We also have flower arrangement, and we also sell bags, those tote bags, out of animal food bags, and we sell them out in the market, farmers market.
It's a special place that keeps people healthy by eating a couple fruits and vegetables. I always show people, first time they pick raspberries and green beans, I show them how to do it like if they do it wrong. Picking raspberries and green beans is simplest, easy for me. We're entering some things in the field like pumpkins, the gourds were growing, and everyone likes them. Tasty.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area, where the fountain is, and the memorials, and the flags, and all this stuff. And we looked around, and I said, there's our bank, right there.
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Hi guys, we're back. We've been talking to Dr. Bridget Williams of Green Harvest Health. Oh my goodness, she has started not only a product line, but about to start another product line. And you've been ongoing with your life coaching, and that's really picked up for you. Can you talk about some of the folks that you've been coaching?
Yes, absolutely. So the life coaching was really important to us because being a physician really for the last 20 years, most of my time at the Cleveland Clinic, and things move fast, right? For every patient, there's a diagnosis and there's a pill. You don't like the pill, here's another pill. And I wanted to get more into the heart of how did you get to the diagnosis? Because I think we ignore that. And so my life coaching clients are every walk of life. Many times we're dealing with more medical issues and how best to get beyond the diagnosis and mentally, physically, emotionally get to a better place, as well as medically, and we delve into that. I have a lot of clients that are professionals, are physicians and nurses, and are trying to figure out that life balance and what direction they're going. And some of my clients are utilizing cannabis in a way that they're trying to get to a better place with it, but really their focus has a lot to do with life balance as well. And so like I said, it's every walk of life. We're all really, particularly in 2020, we were all trying to balance life in a new way. And like this, we all went to social distancing and being on Zoom, and we all handled it differently. So a lot of my life coaching for the past year has been on how to conquer the difficulties that we've all been experiencing.
What are some of the biggest things that are coming up that you're seeing in most of your patients?
The social distancing I mean, we all know that we have difficulty with it and we don't like it, but I sometimes think people are unaware that for some, this has actually made obviously their anxiety worse, but being isolated and retreating has made their social anxiety coming back into the world that much more difficult. And so some were actually a little happy that they didn't have to interact or go to the office or what have you, but the idea of going back into the world, back into the office, social anxiety can be very crippling. And so trying to get people to a better place and how to get back into the world is definitely something that we've been working on quite a bit. New jobs, dealing with financial issues, losing jobs, and how to really overcome and get to a better place. So when you're talking about life coaching, it's the opportunity to walk with someone that can support you, challenge you, help you with your goals, and give you accountability. And so a lot of the work that we do is really setting up that accountability. For my healthcare coaching clients, they've dealt with incredible difficulties over the year, just being in a questionable situation with so many people being ill, and really challenging themselves to stick to the program and be supportive and getting over their own fears, because we all come in with our red capes and our superhero appearance, but at the end of the day, people are stressed and having difficulty.
Right.
Yeah.
What are some of the things, could you share a few tips on some of the people that are facing a lot more stress and anxiety, that are having trouble managing those things?
Yeah, so I'll be honest, for some of the people that have had the most difficulty, they've even avoided doing anything like this. They have avoided Zoom. They've avoided so much interaction that the idea of going back out to the world is really overwhelming. So for some, I've suggested starting with Zoom, just to get into that space where you can have a conversation with friends or family and just being in that space alone. Many times I've advised clients to ask their employer to not go from being at home entirely and working to being at work entirely, but ease into it just, a couple days a week just to get started so that they can ease into that space. Really, it's setting small goals. It's getting back out and taking walks and just kind of getting back into the world in a way where they can start to feel relaxed and surround themselves with people that care about them.
Right. Well, and the social engagement is so critical for, I mean, we're human beings. We're a
Hmm.
lot like animals, is what I like to say. And when you're
Hmm.
going through a rough storm, you're you're going to need your people. And when you become such a recluse and then you adapt to that whole new type of routine, you
Hmm.
have to, everything that you learned, you have to unlearn, then you have to learn it again. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a lot of forming new habits and
Exactly. A lot of what we do is creating a new regimen, right? Because
mm,
people do like habit and they like to know what's going to happen next. And so creating a regimen that supports them to getting back out into the world. And for some, it's getting up and making their bed and taking a shower and brushing their teeth. Because to be honest, for a lot of people, it's been throw on the shirt, you're on Zoom, maybe, and they've gotten away from just their regular social behavior that is the norm, and just getting them back into that routine and being able to interact. It's small steps no matter what.
right. And speaking of small steps, if somebody's interested in working with you, what does the process look like for that right now?
Absolutely. So you can always go to drbridgetmd.com, which has more information about my CBD, my speaking engagements, and my life coaching. Also, you can call me on my patient line, which is 614-412-2799, or you can text that as well, and just tell me what you're thinking, and we'll figure out a way to get you to a better place.
How long does what is your average time span that you find that your life coaching is benefiting people the most? Is it,
Sure.
are you seeing 3 months, 6 months? I know some go longer, once a
Right.
week, every other week.
So I typically do every other week, but I check in every week. So we'll text in the week in between just to make sure you're on your goals. If not, we'll get back and do another session. My usual format is 3 months or 6 months. And people just kind of renew after that, depending. And we set new goals. So the whole idea is that we look at the goals that you have set for the first 3 months. Some of them are huge, and so we're really about tackling it and getting those down. Some of them we meet during that time, and then we set new goals. And so basically, I hold you accountable. Though I'm going to give you either the homework or the process that you need to be able to meet those, like our small goals every week, so that your larger goal is met by the end of that 3 or 6 month period.
Okay. And you also, what does your speaking engagements look like right now?
Yeah, I talk a lot. That's what my family says now. So it's been interesting because really near the beginning of 2020, I was in the space where I was like, okay, I'm ready to kind of branch out. I teach regularly at the Cleveland School of Cannabis. I was doing regular talks about CBD and cannabis in different venues in Ohio. And then I started doing some online national type talks as well. And so I was really, really ready to branch out. And then, of course, with COVID, a lot of that kind of came to an end. So this year, we're looking at what our new options are. I've done a lot of Zoom conferences, which has been really, it's been a great experience as well. And meeting new people through that. And for 2021, I'm doing a Southwest tour on
Oh,
CBD and cannabis through a group called Lucky Leaf. And so almost every month there's a new opportunity to in different cities, anywhere between, I think it's Dallas, Austin, Houston, Albuquerque, Jackson, Mississippi, and Oklahoma City. So
wow. That is very
yeah.
exciting.
So fun, yeah. So it's fun, the idea of being able to move around a little bit and get away from the Zoom a little bit, right?
Right.
But really the opportunity to really learn what CBD and cannabis is like in other places. And what I really do is I call it medical motivational talks, right? Really having the opportunity for someone to see a physician that understands their point of view as far as being the patient and how to motivate them to really empower them and educate them in their journey, whatever that may be, and how CBD or cannabis may or may not be a part of it. And so, so it's been a lot of fun kind of being in that space.
That is so wonderful. And I want to leave everybody with some information about how they can purchase your products as well, if you could share that.
Absolutely. So you can go to greenharvest.health, which is our main website. Instead of a .com, it's .health. Or you can go directly to greenharvesthealthcbd.com, and that will have all of our products on there as well.
So wonderful talking to you, Dr. Bridget. That is about all that we have time for today. Is there anything else that you would like to leave with us?
No, it's great to connect with you and to your viewers. And I look forward to getting information and learning what people are interested in hearing from us and how we can help other people find their wellness.
Fantastic. Oh, that is all that we have time for today, guys. Green Harvest Health, Dr. Bridget Williams, thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate you and your time. For more, please check out her website. And until next time, we will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.